Hello guys, welcome to 3ds Max News, where we cover the news about 3ds Max for the month of July. And let's start with Thinking Particle 7.1. It's one of the most complete particle systems and has been updated. 7.1 brings a new NPM solver, we have hyperelasticity, that as you can see creates all types of elastic behaviors. And with this we have a total of 7 different NPM solvers on this version and all interact with everything. As you can see, you can mix them, liquids with hyperelastic stuff, with a snow, whatever you want to do. On this version we get VDB represented on viewport thanks to the new API on 3ds Max, simple deform allowed to deform geometry using particles, tracer operator allows to very easily high-res your simulations. You can do a low-res version and do a high-res version that will follow particles and will be very fast, allowing to see much more complexity. We have updates on the SPH solver, a new shape pivot to adjust procedurally pivot points, NPM clusters, and way more. Sydney Sati, the developers of FumeFX, did a sneak peek of what we will have on FumeFX 6, and looks like we will get a big update. They showcased a total new nodal interface with over 120 new nodes, and some videos that showcase soft body deformations, and they claim that all these simulations are done inside FumeFX. So it's to expect that we will be able to not only simulate Fume, we will be able to simulate, we can see soft bodies, and I imagine that if we have soft bodies, we will have rigid bodies as well. And yeah, a lot of cool stuff interacting soft bodies with FumeFX, with generating air, and very nice advection on these videos. Cool stuff, we will see what else will come. EQ Measure 2.8 adds support to Max 2023, there is a new simulation node for PIC and flip simulations, added support for Alembic files exports, and more. You can see on these cool videos created with EQ Measure how they use CUDA to really do fast simulations. And vray 6 has been finally launched. We saw it last month that we had, it was on beta, but now we had the final version, so if you have a license you can download the final version of vray 6. We already covered the past month all the news. There is basically a new scatter system, new vray end mesh to distribute geometry over meshes, new cloud system, vray proxy improvements, vray decals can add displacement, faster material UI, and a big etc. And tyflow has been updated to version 1.006, adding support for vray 6. But it's not only the new feature, because on this new version, Tyson ported all modifiers and tyflow UI to Qt, making everything faster. With complex tyflow setups, you will see that really it's way faster. Also remarkable on this new version, it's a compound system for physics. Instead of creating only a convex hull for every object, now you can create more complex simulations creating convex hull per element, or creating convex hulls using a grid, so it will subdivide every object, creating multiple smaller elements. I covered this new compound physics tutorial for my Patreons, where you will be able to create these fries that comes off from this package, and I use this as an example to showcase these new features. If you are one of my Patreons, remember there is this and way more tutorials there. Nayan Bodawala created an automatic caster wheel rig and it's using tyflow under the hood. You will need Max 2019 and above, and at least tyflow 3 installed to be able to use it. NAC All Pro version 2.2 has been released. If you don't know the product, allows you to very easily select your messy folders where you keep a bunch of 3ds Max files for your libraries of assets, and it will automatically organize it for you. It will decompress files if it's needed, it will generate automatically previews, rename files based on 3ds Max versions, and way more. This new version allows you to choose 3 options to manipulate texture files. You get the links on the description of the video. Render Stack 2.45 has been released. The popular and great render manager for 3ds Max gets a new custom P modifier plugin support, so everyone can create his own custom P modifier plugins. There is as well a new save P modifier and execute, and different improvements and fixes. Shang Soeun is the artist behind Render Stacks, and he also did an extensive comparison between 3ds Max 2013 and Max 2023, so 10 years of difference. Max UI for sure didn't change much during these 10 years, but the performance difference over the same machine between these 2 different versions it's quite huge. In animation and different scene evaluation, we can see between 5 to 10 times faster performance, and navigating an architectural scene with maps, we get more than 50 times faster while we navigate this scene. Once again, the hardware is very important until a certain point, where having an improvement on software will be better than spending a lot of money on the latest RTX 3090. Splinecaster is a plugin by Joker Martini to create in a very fast way different splines. You can quickly create splines defining two different points or using a freehand method. It supports Max 2017 or newer and it costs $4. This month we have a lot of cables. Random Cable Generate allows to create cables on an easy way. It comes with 5 different cable types, 5 different cable heat type, warped cable, and you will need Max 2019 or newer and it costs $25. Bayan Al-Safedi created this cool and procedural mechanical escalator using MCG in 3ds Max. You can download a free version of this, and as well there is an available pro version with more options if you need them. Jiri Wolf shared this free script on Facebook group for tyflow, and it basically allows you to place decals over objects only with one click, and it's using tyconform under the hood, so you will need to install tyflow free at least. And yeah, it works great, very easy, but it can save you a lot of work. And another free cool script to save and restore different viewport views done by Barry Gassi. You can download it on a script spot. Evermotion released a collection of parallax maps using OSL. It creates the illusion of depth, but it's just a map over a plane. It contains 90 maps of 45 different interiors. I created a tutorial covering the use of OSL using these types of parallax maps, and yeah, on this video I cover different ways that you can randomize these maps using OSL. I hope that you found it useful. Let's go with our favorite section, 3ds Max It's Only for archviz. Christoph Hrikak shared his work using tyflow for this Samsung Galaxy S2020 advertising, and yeah, very cool work with rigid bodies and particles, and we can see more and more tyflow used in different scenarios. Rashid Birdi also shared this cool teaser of a Jaguar F-Type. He used 3ds Max, vray, and After Effects. Damien Peynoit is an environment artist that worked at Blur, ILM, and Nvidia, and shared his work for the Elder Scrolls Online. He created this environment at Blur Studios for the latest Bethesda game studios. He used Railclone and Forest Pack for the building scatter placement, Gaea ZBrush for the mountains and rocks, and a Speed Tree for the trees. All has been rendered with vray, an awesome job. And finally, we have the VFX breakdown from Skyline VFX for the Adam Project, that is a movie on Netflix. A lot of great artists work on this, and as you know, Skyline for all the final renders use vray on 3ds Max, but on this one I was in charge of destroying this huge particle accelerator. It was pretty fun. There was glass breaking, all these metal elements tearing and getting stuck in the core, and all this has been simulated in tyflow, and once more I was super impressed how quickly I was able to iterate and refine these simulations using tyflow. Has been a joy actually to do all this on a very short time thanks to 3ds Max and tyflow. So yeah, not only archviz, also 3ds Max used in a lot of different areas. And let's go with tutorials. FumeFX is creating a new tutorial each week using 3ds Max and tyflow mostly. You will be able to learn how to create all this awesome stuff. Noberto Aguilera is keep sharing multiple animations and rigs that you can download it for free, and you can learn a lot of stuff. Check on his YouTube because he's posting a lot lately, and I like particularly this monster that can be for a video game, and he creates the rig system but also creates a very effective muscle system that, yeah, it's simple but works great. Lars Balansmir keeps doing his amazing mechanical rigging tutorial. On the last month we saw 3 videos, but now he has 3 more, so a total of 6 tutorials, and they are great. You don't see many tutorials like this, even paying for it, but these ones are totally free and totally worth it. And Texture Supply created a very short but to the point tutorial creating custom slider controllers and using Reaction Manager to add different actions. I think it's great because Reaction Manager is one of these things in 3ds Max that very few people knows about and can be really powerful, as you can see on these examples. Domestika did a series of discounts on his website with great tutorials at a very low price. I did a collection of them oriented to 3ds Max and you can see it on my website. And yeah, remember to check 3ds Max news on my website because regularly when I see some news about 3ds Max, I post it there. And yeah, some stuff like these ones, some of the discounts are not available anymore. So if you check my website when it's available, you will be able to see it. And still you can use FumeFX/10 as a coupon for a 10% discount. August 3 and 4 we have Autodesk Vision series that is happening during SIGGRAPH as well. SIGGRAPH will be happening on Vancouver, this time physically again. But the Vision series by Autodesk are a series that will be online and free. Dan Wilczynski will showcase how they create the scenery and props for Forza Horizon 5. So yeah, the popular driving game for Xbox, it's using 3ds Max. This could go as well. 3ds Max is not only for archviz, but will be very interesting talk and I hope that I can see it. Then we have Edward McEvenue of AD Studio showcasing some techniques using 3ds Max and tyflow. Also can be very interesting. And finally we will have a talk about open standards using USD, LookDev, Material X and Hydra in production. That will be on the mark of 3ds Max and Maya and where it's oriented Max and Maya for the future with these open standards to communicate better between them. And that's all for July, guys. I hope that you like it. Let me know in the comments what do you found interesting. And if you like the video, remember, give a comment, share it with your friends, give a like, subscribe, all this stuff in YouTube. And thanks a lot to all my Patreons. Remember that if you are one of my Patreons, I have been releasing some different exclusive tutorials for you. You have this Fry's tutorial that will be a series of 3 tutorials covering different stuff. You have the first tutorial for my Patreons. The next 2 will come during the next month. And we are finishing the tornado tutorial. We have, I think, 7 tutorials already for my Patreons. And will be a total of 9 tutorials. So we cover step by step how to create this cool scene with tyflow. And the cool stuff of these tutorials is that I don't prepare it too much. So basically I keep creating and when I see a problem, I discuss how I will solve it. So you can see more overall process of doing a shot like that. And if you would like to learn tyflow 3ds Max in general, you know, a very cheap price, you can have much more tutorials that I cover different stuff. That's all, guys. Thank you so much and see you soon. Bye.